Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Masterpiece, the most inspirational podcast in the land. And our guest today, she's a mother of six. She's a registered nurse, and she's a competitive bodybuilder. I want to know how she do it. You want to know how she do it. Stay tuned for after this introduction to hear from the great state of Georgia, Miss Cora Holcomb.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go.
Hello, Cora. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm fine, and I'm fine. Glad to have you on the show. Our goal here at the Masterpiece is to inspire people to get active, to stay active, to be inspired, and to be an inspiration. Thank you for joining us as today's masterpiece.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. So looking forward to a great show as always. So getting straight to it. So did you ever imagine that you would be in competitive bodybuilding?
Never in a million years. I like seriously still pinch me because I still don't believe it's happening. It's just crazy.
So how did you get into bodybuilding? What led you into bodybuilding?
Kind of by fluke. So we had come back from a duty station overseas in South Korea, came here to Georgia, Fort Gordon. We're in Augusta, and I started going to a gym that was on base after I gained a little bit of weight overseas. I was bartending, and so there was a little bit
Oh
too much
wow.
fun to be had. So gained some weight. I was trying to lose a little weight, and a coach approached me and said,
Oh
"I
wow.
think you would be a great fit for bodybuilding. Would you let me prep you for a show?" And we just kind of ran full force ahead. Um, Unfortunately, 3 weeks before I was supposed to step on stage, I was in a rollover car accident and sustained enough injuries to where I wasn't able to move forward for quite some time. And so we kind of had to put a pin in that for a little while. So that was back in 2019.
Oh wow.
Fast forward to after COVID, I had baby number six. And instead of focusing on, oh, I just need to lose this weight, I was like, let's focus on getting on stage and then let the pieces fall where they may. And it ended up being an incredibly productive season for my first year.
Yeah, congratulations. But you're the second person I've heard. It must be a thing for these coaches to approach people in the gym. Because you're the second person I heard, like, well, it just happened. I got approached in the gym and here we are. So good for you. Good for your coach as well. So, what division? So
I
tell
think
the
that,
audience what divisions and what level you can compete.
I'm sorry, what about that?
Yep. Tell us what divisions and at what level, amateur or pro, you compete in.
Oh, so I am a wellness competitor. And so for OCB, SMBF, and AMBF, I am a pro wellness athlete. And for NPC, I am an amateur
Okay.
for the
So,
time being.
for the time being. Yep, gotcha.
For the time being.
So, mother of six. So, like I said, the number one excuse in the world is I don't have enough time. So, with having a full time job, having six kids to look after, how do you manage all that in bodybuilding?
Not only do I hear that all the time, but even just like messages or texts or DMs, whatever, that's the question I get is how do you do it all the time? And to me, it's actually very simple. We all do not have the same 24 hours in the day. I'm going to say that again because I think most people hear it the other way. We don't
Yep.
all have the same 24 hours in a day. I know I don't. So I have to prioritize and sacrifice for what I want. So if a baby gets up at, which my youngest is 3, but little girl gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning, that means I'm getting up at 3:30 in the morning to get my cardio in before our day starts.
Oh,
After
wow.
work, like I was at the gym till 10 o'clock last night getting the rest of my cardio in. It ultimately is a sacrifice for you prioritizing what you want.
Oh, wow. That's a big side. I mean, how does so my thing is meal prep. So I only meal prep for myself. So I have a family, but I only meal prep for myself. How does that work with a family of six?
So for me, so I tried something a little bit different this year and it worked really, really well. Um, so my kids like certain things and I will basically double or triple. And that way I'm only cooking for them every other night. So it's something that I can throw in the crock pot or something that I can split in half and freeze. So I only am cooking 3 to 4 nights a week, depending on the week. And that honestly, that goes hand in hand, even if I weren't competing. So even in the off season, because my kids are everywhere as far as sports. Last year was crazy because we had a senior who was in regular volleyball, travel volleyball, plus our football player and our other gym cheerleading. So that works year round for me now. Like moving forward, I don't think I'll ever go back. So honestly, it's the same thing that I would do for myself, preparation.
Oh wow, that sounds like a lot of work and
It is, but it's
a lot of sacrifice.
you do it without even thinking. Once you've been doing it for so long, you do it without even thinking. Like when you go grocery shopping, you've got your list, you know what you've got to do, you know what you've got to make for the week. It's seamless for me now. It's engraved in me now. It's been 2 years that I've been doing this, so
Oh wow, well, it sounds like you got a good handle on it. You got the pro card in three federations and working on the fourth. So good luck with that. So with your busy schedule, how does it feel to go through prep and to finally get on the stage? How do you feel when you're on that stage?
Um, so usually my first couple of shows, I'm not gonna lie, I'm super nervous. Um, you never feel ready enough, you never feel lean enough. It takes doing a couple to shake the cobwebs off, if you will. I would definitely say like this last show that I did this past weekend was the easiest in the sense of like my nerves and my calm. I really just had a great time. Um, and it's made all that much sweeter when you do well. So it's like all that preparation, being in prep, and you finally can step on stage, even though it's only for 30 seconds, you have the
Yeah,
time of your life and it's amazing. It's a feeling that can't be replicated in any other way. And it's definitely an addicting feeling as well.
yeah, yeah. So one time, personally, on me on stage, for whatever reason, I didn't hear the judges. I couldn't hear the judges calling the move. So I'm standing there, and everyone else moving around. And I don't know what happened. I blacked out. So any embarrassing moments on the stage for you?
Yes. So I would definitely say so last year was like my first year actually getting on stage and I was like a baby deer walking for the first time. So it took time for
Wow.
me to learn A, some grace, B, some flow. Um, and so not it was so oh, what was it? My third show of last year was at the Yorton Cup. And you can catch it in pictures. I should send it to you actually. But I almost like fall back and you can see nothing but me like falling back. And I mean, I'm able to like regain myself, but it's so embarrassing. And then I start dripping sweat because I'm like embarrassed. And so that happened. And then
Oh
what
wow.
stage we were on was not a typical stage. I don't know how to explain it, but the texture was different. So I went into a spin, and this one I pulled off a lot better, but I definitely almost fell.
Oh wow. Well, we're glad you did. Glad you recovered, and it's like you did well with your posing. You're doing better with your posing. So I don't really like posing. So I don't like the whole posing practice. That's my challenge when it comes to this whole sport. But
Hmm.
good job for you. Good job to you. But so, what's your favorite part of the sport? What do you absolutely love about the sport?
Um, Honestly, it's a two-part thing for me. So for me, bodybuilding and going through a prep is so much more mental than it is physical. It's all up here, right? So it's pushing myself from a mental aspect. I mean, yes, we're pushing our bodies physically to the brink of things,
Yeah.
but it is at the end of the day, your body is going to do whatever you tell it to do. So for me, it's about practicing that discipline and practicing that mental strength. I mean, the glitz, the glam, feeling pretty for a day on stage, all of that is so fun too. But yeah, that mental drive to do things that a lot of people can't do is definitely it for me. And then like having this huge team and support behind me now just makes it that much easier.
Yeah. So that's how do you get? Because I agree that mental aspect is more challenging than the physical aspect. Everybody goes to the gym, but as far as
Mhm.
making the sacrifices for the other things you have to do to transform your body to that next level, how do you get to that? How do you push that? What gets you to push through that mental level, that mental barrier?
I mean, every day. And I mean, I take it by the hour, to be honest with you. So some hours I'm telling my stomach to shut up and
Oh
no,
wow.
you're not hungry, you're fine. And some days I'm like, is the girl who beat me last year taking a break right now? Is she pushing out one more rep right now? And sometimes on my not as motivated days or not as disciplined days or days when I'm having a little bit of a low time, it's reaching out to teammates, reaching out to my coach. They're all great motivators. My family is a great support too. So, I mean, it's different every day.
Okay, so we would like to hear you tell your stomach to shut up. How does that sound?
Bitch, you ain't hungry. You're fine. You're good.
Oh wow.
You're just
Yep.
fine.
Yep. I'm sure that
She's
that
a
would
little
stop the
sassy
hunger.
sometimes. I just tell her, just knock it off. You're fine.
Yep. That sounds like that would stop the hunger pains for anybody. So I think I need to record that
Yeah,
clip and tell myself to tell my stomach the same thing. So good job.
absolutely.
So so when you're in the gym working out, how do you feel? What does that feel? What is that for you? What does that do for you? Where are you when you? How do you feel when you're working out?
So it's not the best part of it, but I mean that's a part that I'm always addicted to. I love working out, probably a little bit too much. When I came to my new coach, he definitely wanted to pull that back a little bit. But for me, I am a cardio person through and through. I love cardio. I have been a runner like all of my life. I've been a triathlete, so it's very hard for me to pull back on cardio. But when I'm doing like copious amounts of cardio, I'm happy. I am a happy girl. I'm listening to music or I'm listening to podcasts. And then like on the lifting side, I like channel my inner demons, if you will. And I am always about chasing PRs. I am honestly having the best time of my life, pushing my body to a point where you're chasing pain, if you will.
Okay, yeah, very nice. So with your journey, your fitness journey, your competitions and everything else behind you, and as you walk out, you look at your kids. What do you want the world and your kids to see?
Oh, wow. Um, Speaking on my kids specifically, there are a couple of things that I want my kids to take from me and as a mom, as the person that I am in general, not just bodybuilding. But you're never too old or you're never in too bad of a situation where you're. Um, so some people would hear, or the case may be, that you could never step on a bikini. I beg to differ. I want them to have body positivity. So of my kids, 5 of them are girls. And I think we've all been in a place where we're not confident or we have these insecurities. I know I do. I try very hard to not let my kids see that, especially my girls. I want them to be proud of every aspect of their body and know that it's okay to share that with the world. I really want to know that they really can do anything.
What do you want the world to see? So you walking out about around in Georgia. What do you want the world to see?
The world. Um, I think that from the outside looking in, when you list the things that you talk about, you know, mom, nurse, I'm also a full time student again to further my career in nursing, um, bodybuilder. The load looks heavy, but I want them to see me carrying it as if it's light. I want to keep going through life, head held high, shoulders pulled back. And even though I do have the weight of the world on my shoulders, I want them to see that I can persevere with grace.
Very nice. So, uh, what's your biggest fear?
Can you elaborate, like in general in
Like
bodybuilding?
just in general, like what is your biggest fear? So if you left this world and with no regrets, what's your biggest fear of not achieving, of not doing? What's your biggest fear?
Not achieving or not doing. Honestly, so when I think about people who meant a lot to me, whether they were mentors or family members, they hold this really big place in my heart, right? And so I think that in that sense, my fear would be that I didn't do enough to make that impact on people, whether it be my own kids, whether it be my family members, whether it be yesterday, 13-year-old in tears, but like people that I want to touch people's lives in the best way possible. And so that being said, I think I worry about not doing enough. And I think that's like my go-to in life in general. I always feel like I'm not doing enough.
Okay. So how has your fitness impacted your bodybuilding, your competition? How has it impacted your family and your loved ones? Has it been an impact? If so, what has been an impact?
Mm, I mean, more so just from a scheduling standpoint, they all love it. They love it. Like my parents were there this weekend on the shows that my husband can go to. He's the loudest person in the crowd. He's
Wow.
crazy. Um, um, he's the one taking pictures a lot of the times. So really, it's just from a schedule. Make it to every sporting event. I might be a little bit more tired because, like I said, I'm getting up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to get cardio done. But for the most part, it's something that they've all really enjoyed. My teenagers they're a little funny. Like they like to tease me with food and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, they're really supportive. I have a really good supportive family behind me.
Okay. So, um, are you the first in your family, as far as you know, to step on stage and compete in bodybuilding? Has anyone done it before you?
Yeah, very much so. So I come from a long line of family members that have just struggled with their weight in general. So,
Mm. Well, kudos to you. Good job. So, throughout everything, what has bodybuilding, what have you learned about yourself? What has it taught you?
um, first and foremost, I mean, especially at the end of every season, when it's all done, you realize, okay, I did that. So I'm stronger than I give myself credit for. Again, not just physically, but mentally. There are always so many like hiccups. I feel like nothing can just like go smooth. What can go wrong will go wrong when I'm in prep. And so when it's all done, I can look back and I'm like, despite all of these things, I was still able to have a successful season and make people proud of me.
Well, you're definitely an inspiration. We're definitely proud of you here. So, to date in bodybuilding, what has been your biggest accomplishment? What's your most memorable accomplishment to date?
I think it's really easy for ooh, I think it's really easy to say an accomplishment is when you had a win. And
Yep.
so naturally, like I would last year, if you had asked me this question, I would have said getting my pro card. Had a really bad off season in so many ways. And so when I moved to this new team, to this new coach, I came to him in a very bad place from a physique standpoint. And um, physically. And even come time for the first show of the season, I still did not feel like I was at my best. So getting on stage, knowing that I was not where I wanted to be, where I should have been for being a professional athlete, where my coach needed me to be. I knew I wasn't there, but I got on stage and I still gave it the best show I possibly could. I still brought all of the sass, all of the smiles. And from the outside looking in, you would never know that I wasn't confident. And to me, that's a win every day is taking a hard situation or a scary situation and doing it anyway, showing up anyway.
Well, good job. So, I'm glad you changed your answer. It sounds like you learned a lot about yourself in that regard as well. So, appreciate you. So, what's next for you?
Well, I have another show in like, I don't know, like 8 days or something. I don't, it's
Oh, wow.
next, yeah, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. That is my last show of the season. And then we go into an improvement season. So I'm not really sure how long that looks like. I know that I won't be competing next year until summer for sure. But even it could even be later than that. Ultimately, that decision falls in my coach. So I am going to use my improvement season to make the improvements that all of the judges gave me as far as feedback. But I also have a lot of other things that are still bodybuilding related in the works. So some ambassadorships, some sponsorships, um, some traveling that has to get done in order to facilitate all of those things. So it's still going to be a busy off-season, improvement season, what have you. It's still going to be
Yeah.
pretty busy.
Well, good job. Well, congratulations. Good luck with the show next in 8 days next week, and your travels and sponsorships and all the other good stuff that you got going on. So good job and good luck. But
Thank you so
so if you
much.
take the time that you from the time that you started bodybuilding, you mentioned your training in the gym and everything else, to the number of times you stepped on stage and all the other good stuff. Can you give us a motivational message? So can you sum all that experience up and give us a motivational message, a real quick motivational message? Let us have it.
This has definitely stemmed from the new team and the new coach that I have been a part of this year. And it's my mantra that I've been saying to myself, especially when I'm having some doubt. We work, don't worry. Everything's going to fall exactly where it needs to fall. And if you worked for something and deserve something, it's going to come. So
We work, don't worry.
work, don't worry.
Okay, that sums it up. Anything you want to add to that? Do you want to give us anything behind that? Uh, you just leave that work, don't worry.
I mean, I think that says enough. It really, if
Okay.
you're a worrier like me, yeah, that's no
Well,
sense in
that,
worrying about stuff that you can't change. Control the controllables. There's so many different outside things that can
yeah.
affect you as far as prep, bodybuilding, stage show, and joint and stressing over things. Really where that comes from.
But this is true. That is true. So I believe that in myself. So thank you for that motivational message, and summing everything up so nicely. So that is our show, man. I don't know if you have any parting thoughts.
Just thank you for having me. This was awesome, and I hope we can do it again soon.
Yes. So as I'll be following you. Hope you follow me as well. Follow, like, and share, and we go forth and get that pro card. You have other big events and things that's going on. Please come back.
Yeah, of course. I do
So
have a
so
question for
yeah.
you, though.
So do you want to wait till we go off? Or
No, it's you talked about competing, so
okay.
do you have a time frame in which you would want to compete again?
Well, I injured my shoulder, so I injured my shoulder. So I was supposed to. I'm supposed to still be in competition season. So like next week, I'm supposed to be in competition. But I injured my
Ooh,
shoulder a few months ago, and it just hasn't acted right. So I'm back
yeah.
into the weight room this week, but it's like starting all over from the beginning.
Oh my God,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Take it
yeah. So
easy.
I'm not competition ready. So
Yeah,
my goal is next year.
I look forward to it.
So follow me. I'll be posting updates and all that other good stuff on my page and all and everything else too. So I have some big goals for next year. So hopefully I'm able to reach those things and yeah, get on here and we'll talk about it.
Make that come back. Yes, sir.
Yep, I'm coming back. So this has been the masterpiece. Like I said, our job here is to inspire people to get active, to stay active, to be inspired. More importantly, to be an inspiration. You heard it here today from Miss Cora Holcomb. Thank you for joining us on the show. Nice to meet you. Good luck in all that you have going on, and hopefully we see you in the future. This has been the
Thank you.
masterpiece. We are out.